Yeah. You already know, man. Y'all tuned into the Unsportsmanlike Talk show with Rell and Trell. You already know, man. Listen, this has been a long time waiting. It's been a long time coming, man. You know what I mean? I've been out, you know what I mean? I've been out for the count with the flu, you know what I mean? So my boy Young Jerry's been holding it down with the Hype Fan Eagle Talk, you know what I'm saying? But we back, man. We back in full in effect, man. Starting from here on out, we are back in full in effect, man. You already know, man. It's a lot. What's going on, my boy TJ? What's good? What's good? Um, you know what I mean? Listen, man, we got a lot to talk about and a little bit to talk about at the same time, man. You know what I mean? Listen, man, we back. We starting it off. We starting it off right. You know what I mean? Make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure y'all become a member to the Patreon page. Y'all see it right there. Dolo Solo 103 TV, man. Become a member to the Patreon page right now. You know what I mean? This is the Unsportsmanlike Talk show with Rell and Trell. We pretty much got it backwards because the Unsportsmanlike is usually on Tuesdays, but right now we doing it on Monday, and then the Patreon is tomorrow. You know what I mean? But I just wanted to make sure that I bring y'all one of these good episodes for tonight. You know what I mean? Since this is really my introduction back. You know what I mean? This is my reintroduction back. You know what I mean? Like I told everybody, man, I was pretty much down with the flu. You feel what I'm saying? But as I'm recovering now, we could really talk. You know what I mean? We had some amazing games throughout the weekend. You know, the Texans played the Kansas City Chiefs. If I'm not mistaken, they played the Chiefs, right? The Texans played the Chiefs. The Baltimore Ravens played the Bills. The Eagles played the LA Rams. And it was another team that played. Oh, the Washington Detroit. Detroit. Yes. So if you want to pop it off, if you want to start off with Washington versus Detroit, we could talk about that real quick. You know what I mean? Washington looked real strong. You know what I mean? I was pretty much telling everybody on the Hype Fan Eagle yesterday that Jayden Daniels is definitely one of them ones. You know what I mean? He's a very, very good rookie. We haven't seen that from a rookie in a long time. The only time I can remember seeing a very good rookie performance like that was Cam Newton. A lot of people, you know, you could throw in the RG3 and stuff like that. But as far as the NFC East, we do have some trouble, you know what I mean, in the future with Jayden Daniels. You know what I'm saying? We got some competition. But nah, man, listen, the young bull look poised in the pocket. You know what I mean? He kind of remind me of Jalen Hurts. Don't get too high, don't get too low. You know what I mean? Don't let nothing rattle him and everything like that. Pretty much they went in as underdogs. You know, they went in as underdogs. Everybody thought that Detroit was going to smoke their boots, but it was the total opposite, man. Although Detroit did have their way in a running game, Jared Goff was doing Jared Goff things. You know, and I remember when he threw 5 interceptions and they won a game. This was in the regular season. And the whole media, you know, the media outlets like your ESPNs and, you know, your Shannon Sharps and everybody, they was pretty much praising him like, yo, he's still game with him throwing 5 interceptions. But I remember Shannon Sharp saying something like, you don't accept anything in a win that you would in a loss, right?
He had that on repeat.
He had it on repeat. And now, you know, look at it. They went into the playoffs turning the ball over. You know what I mean? And, you know, Washington pretty much capitalized off of it, you know, and nobody saw this coming, man. Jayden Daniels is definitely one of them ones, man, especially for the NFC East. What's your takeaways from that game?
Man, I take away, just like you said, that boy Jayden Daniels is balling as a rookie, man. And what keep running through my mind when it comes to this boy is that this is his first year. Like, take it. It's only if they say it's only a few selected quarterbacks that have done it. Only one I can remember that they brought up was Ben saying that on a rookie year that did the same thing, took his team. I don't remember that. I don't next every year. I'm not gonna act like I was there and I witnessed that. I don't remember what game they actually talk about. I think they say I don't know if he took him to a nice playoff run or he actually went to the championship. So correct me if I'm wrong, but they huh?
No, I'm saying yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, but they was just saying that he was one of those guys that his rookie year he did a phenomenal for the Steelers. He came and he did the same thing. But it's his rookie year. Not only that he's taking his team to a championship on his rookie year, He
Mhm.
turned his team around. Last year, what was they? Like the Commanders didn't look nothing like
Not
he
it look nothing like this. No.
yeah. What you said was kind of I could agree to a extent of comparing him with Jalen Hurts, just to a extent. It's still it's some difference in there and big
Mhm.
differences. But one thing I could say that what he is doing and what Jalen Hurts doing, a lot of people talking about his passing and all this other stuff, but at the same time, like Devontae Smith and AJ Brown, they didn't get big by themselves. Like
Yeah.
he made him. Oh, you talk about passing, but who going they? You know about AJ Brown. Everybody talk about what type of receiver he is. He was on the Titans.
Mhm.
Why nobody wasn't talking about him when he was on the Titans? Why nobody wasn't? Why he didn't seem like that type of receiver when he was on the Titans? You know why nobody? I mean, Smitty when he was on with Carson Wentz and Nick Foles. I think was it Nick Foles when he first came
Now,
on?
I was just comparing them as far as being poised, like they
No,
don't
no,
get
no,
too
no,
high,
yeah,
they
yeah,
don't
yeah,
get too low. You know what I mean?
no,
Like they
no, yeah, yeah.
even kill type of
Yeah.
attitude.
No, I know what you were saying, but what I was saying it more as that what I compared them as is Terry McLaurin, scary, like what they call him, scary Terry. Like
Scary Terry.
he didn't look as no, we know. I'm not gonna say people didn't know what Terry could do because he had that potential. We see glimpse of what Terry did on his season from the time he was on the Commanders. But the way he is looking this season, like he got some records. People look overshot of records. I don't got it now, but you could put it up, Nick. He got some records that he's up there as a
Mhm.
receiver, top in like 2 second one. Like he got some records he didn't have until Jaden Daniels get on the team.
All right,
So
my boy, stay safe, man.
yeah, so what I'm saying is that him to make his team wasn't this team wasn't not the players, just the whole thing, the coaching, all that was not getting the respect and getting this what they was not being seen before they get a quarterback that can help them to see what their potential is. You
Mhm.
see, Zach Ertz is starting the ball back. A lot of people, his name was starting to fade away. He got on Commanders. You ain't really was after the Eagles. You ain't really necessarily talk about Zach Ertz that much. But now you saying he got a lot. Like a lot of people is like yo, Zach Ertz is balling right now. I'm not saying he's top tight end right now, but he's you seen his name to ring a little bit back because a lot of plays.
Mhm.
So basically, what I'm saying, what I take from this game is you got a young quarterback that's balling, and the Lions facing a offense with their defense is what's the word? Almost depleted, if not depleted already. Like, you know, there's no excuse because it's supposed to be a shootout.
Mhm.
You had all right, cool. Your offense is I mean your defense is hurt. They can't whatever. But it's you supposed to win in a shootout because of how great your offense was. That all the talk about what your offense is, all this talk about everybody boosting Jared Goff up of a quarterback, what he is doing, all this talk of Dan Campbell and his play calling, how aggressive he is and what he got. A lot of that bit him in the foot too because they was trying to do a lot of trick plays that the Commanders was not having it. And you know they was getting away with all those type of trick plays through the whole season, and they was catching people off guard, and they lived off of that. But you get
Trying to do wide receiver
yeah,
touchdown
yeah,
passes and like, come on, son. You're like, yo,
yeah,
it's the
yeah,
playoffs, bro. Like, who y'all think y'all playing with,
yeah.
bro?
What you
Like, come
playing
on,
with
son.
exactly? Like try it one time. All right. But they constantly kept doing it. But I ain't gonna get me wrong. I would lay off just as slightly. It did work in the beginning somehow. Because that
Mhm.
reverse, I think that was reverse running back, H back, running back type play.
It was a reverse to the wide receiver, the same wide receiver who threw that dumbass
It was a wide
interception.
receiver. It was a
Yeah,
wide receiver. Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Williams. I forget his first name, Williams, but yeah, he the same one who scored on that reverse, the same one who threw that interception at the end.
Oh, yeah. So what I'm saying is it did work, but at the same time, when you're seeing how bad your quarterback is playing,
Mm,
then you gotta go away for that. You gotta switch up and try some standard. Just know what, get your down, get your don't start forcing it. Check it down, move the chains, get something like So, but like he still trying to do those little trick plays, trying to do too much because they got desperate. I feel like they played into the Commanders' field. Like
yeah.
it was somewhat like, I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna let you get it. It was somewhat, yeah, we on your home field, but we gonna treat this like it's ours. You gonna play into our hands. Like that's what it kind of felt like with the defense. Like it was like Jared Goff would just caught off guard and he would
Mm,
just like he just got trapped and like didn't know what to do. Like they was on him, pressure. He was throwing it to the defense. Like he was
mm,
off. It was just like the running game. They was trying it. Don't get me wrong, Jamal Gibbs. He was balling somewhat, but they didn't look like Knuckles and Solid. Like they balled. Don't get me wrong. They did their thing to a extent, but it wasn't like how they was doing to other teams. Like besides that good run that he had that they had that they got into the touchdown, but the overall they stopped the run good enough to make sure Golf pass it, and Golf couldn't deliver. Jared Goff couldn't deliver it. Like you see how he was. So the
yeah.
pressure got to him, the moment got to him. And a lot of people say that this is the reason why the Rams let him go, because they saw this in him. And now people saying that now y'all can see the reason why we felt like he wasn't an elite quarterback, because of how much he choked. And
Yeah, yeah,
I ain't no I'm not no Rams fan, so I don't know how next time how they feel. But hey, that's what happened with a lot of quarterbacks.
yeah. I feel like I listen. I still feel like Jared Goff is a good quarterback. I mean, he took the Rams to a Super Bowl. They didn't win, but he is capable of getting them there. Last year, when they got close to going to the Super Bowl, it wasn't on him. It was on Dan Campbell going for it, on a fourth down. So I think, every quarterback, I feel like, especially if you lost, they wish that they could have one or two or three plays back. Look at Lamar Jackson. You know what I'm saying? He had messed up early on, you know what I mean, as far as throwing an interception and fumbling. And then, that pretty much was a trickle down effect to Mark Andrews. You know what I mean? Mark Andrews ended up fumbling and not catching the ball. And then when it came down to it for them to tie the game up, he flat out just couldn't catch the 2-point conversion from Lamar. So, I don't take nothing away from, Jared Goff. I just knew that, honestly, if you want to be honest, I don't think nobody saw this. Like, I'm gonna keep it about. I'm not gonna act like, yo, this is Jared Goff and we knew this was. Nah, I'm not gonna say that, because we thought that they was gonna blow the doors off the Commanders. Like, we thought that they was gonna get the Commanders the business. Like, we thought it was over. So I'm not gonna sit up here and be like, yo, this is Jared Goff. Nah, I did not see this coming, bro. I did not see Jayden Daniels do what he been doing all year to the number one team in the NFC, bro. Like,
Mhm.
I just didn't see it, man. You know what I mean? Jameer Gibbs and Montgomery or whatever. Gibbs was running all over him. You know what I mean? But it was at a point in time where he couldn't really do that no more, because they was playing catch up. And when you play catch up, you can't
Mhm.
really run the ball like that. You got to be forced into throwing the ball and stuff like
Yep.
that. But
Yep.
before that, man, Jameer Gibbs was pretty much running all over him, man. They was pretty much having a way with Washington Commanders defense. You know what I mean? The defense didn't look good at all. But the Commanders stepped up when they needed to step up. Terry McLaurin. One thing I want to say about Terry McLaurin that you was talking about is basically, he just never had a quarterback that can actually show his talent off. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like, he always been. That's why he got the name Scary Terry, because, like you said, you saw the potential in him and stuff like that. But he never had the quarterback to actually get him the ball as consistent as Jayden
Mhm.
Daniels doing right now. So now that they really got a quarterback, man, it's definitely going to be scary, man. They just missing at least three pieces, man. Get another wide receiver over there. You know what I mean? Get another running back to go with Brian Robinson and Austin Eckler, if you may, or if you want to get another cornerback too. Just either cornerback, safety. You could get another wide receiver to pair with Terry McLaurin. Running back, not so much. They pretty much good on the running back. You know what I mean? Um,
I think I need a linebacker.
yeah, or a linebacker to pair with Luvo, but they got two good linebackers. I mean, my man's is pretty much out the door. What you call his name? The linebacker. He played for Seattle, but now he's over there in Washington now. Um, um, Ah, anyway, y'all know who I'm talking about for those who viewing this right now. Bobby Wagner.
Oh
He
yeah, yeah, yeah.
retire and stuff like that. But they could get a linebacker in free agency and stuff if they hit the free agency market, right? But yeah, man, very surprised that the Detroit Lions losing to the Commanders, man. Nobody saw that. You know, Jaden Daniels is a hero in a lot of people's eyes right now. You know, now they in the NFC Championship along with the Philadelphia Eagles, who beat the Los Angeles Rams yesterday. Man, beat them. You know, in a nasty game. You know what I mean? Honestly, it could have been worse. It was a lot of drop passes from AJ Brown, the one who was pretty much complaining on the sideline for the past 4 or 5 weeks, and now you get the ball thrown to you, and you just automatically just dropping the ball. You know what I mean? You just dropping a couple of footballs, and he pretty much left 60 to 70 yards on the field. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying with the drop balls. Other than that, it was a nasty game. The Philadelphia Eagles came out with the dub. You know what I mean? The LA Rams tried to come back towards the end, but our defense was strong, man. What's your takeaways from that game?
I take away that right now, I feel like as a team on both sides, we control the game when it comes to what we want to do. And I feel like reason why what I'm gonna say is what I've been feeling first from the off season and from last year. Mainly
Mm-hmm.
even from the other last year off season. I've been talking about this. When last year came through the season, it made me talk about more because how we saw the way our defense was. And
Mm-hmm.
then that made me even talk about it even more because our
Mm-hmm.
defense was atrocious, they were just horrific. Any bad word you want to name, our
Yeah.
defense was. So that made me even talk about it even more on this offseason that just passed. And
Mm-hmm.
then I wanted to see through the draft do what how we did on the guys we picked up and everything. I wanted to see like, okay, is this gonna be something different now? And it started off very rocky. It was like, oh no, it looked like another 23 season, like another like how defense started. You know, the Green Bay put up a lot of points. We scored because we outscored Green Bay, not because of our defense. It was our defense started off rocky. Like they looked like we was back to square one again. But
Mm-hmm.
then I think everything changed. I don't know, was it the Browns game after we got the bye? I don't know which the game which
You talk about this season, right?
this season.
This season,
Um
everything changed after the Buccaneers. Right after the Buccaneers game, we got a bye week, and then next thing you know, 10 game winning
yeah,
streak.
yeah. So I think after he's Vic Fangio saw what he saw enough. He saw with they probably went back on tape, saw all the mistakes, all the out of sync, and everything, and that bye week gave enough time to game plan to figure out and to set people in place. That's why a lot of people like you see Hassan Maddox was sit down. Cooper DeJean start coming in. Now that was probably a hard thing to do, but I'm glad it did because listen, I know I feel how I feel about Maddox. He just he's a shell of himself. Like that's just how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
And getting out those young boys that's hungry and really to what's the word willing to learn and to develop to elite players. That's just what we are seeing right now. Like these guys is playing hungry with an effort of they trying to make a name for themselves. And the I feel like the play call on defense of them, you see them coming up. You see them mixed formations as you think we gonna blitz, but now we drop we pick up. So now you think it would we gonna blitz, but then we pick up on the receiver, whatever is slot or in the middle or whatever it is that confuses the quarterback. All what he think he see in the beginning, then now he got to switch up what he sees. Now that kind of thinking when you're going through your progression, it gives time for your pass rushes to get in it. So a lot of those
Mm-hmm.
defensive schemes that Vic Fangio, to me, it doesn't help a lot of people not looking in that aspect because reason why I'm saying this, yes, our pass rushing is doing good. Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis, Sweat, even what Mick Williams is his name, if I'm saying it right. Oh,
You talk
um,
you talking about uh uh Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, John Mo. You talk about
John,
Milton
yeah.
Williams.
Yeah,
Milton Williams.
man, yeah. He's you. I hear his name kind of constantly now, and let's not forget Nolan Smith is starting to make his name that we've been waiting for. Like I feel like people looking at these pass rush, what we are doing, but they not seeing what's the difference of why this pass rushing is looking the way it's looking.
Mm-hmm.
The difference is what we seen last year. We always had good defensive linemen. Well, we didn't see how good they was like this last season. They had some good times. They had some good plays, but not we had a hard time getting to quarterbacks. We didn't get to quarterbacks consistently last season. And you know the reason why? Because our secondary was horrible. They couldn't stick on receivers long enough to get up so our pass because our pass rushers was getting there last season but they didn't have enough of time to finish it off because quarterbacks was getting the ball out of their hand too quick.
Mm-hmm.
So what can you do when a quarterback is checking it down too quick and getting it off too quick because the our linebackers and our corners and safeties can't hold on to it or hold on and cover a wide receiver, or even a tight end long enough for our pass rushers could finish the job. But now you see, because you go back and look at a lot of these playbacks on what how we've been playing on these last with these 11 games straight. You go back, well now it's probably 12 games straight. You go back and look at the tape and watch of how our secondary, when you look at these quarterbacks, they hardly don't them 9 out of 10, they don't be having nowhere to go with the ball yet. I secondary be holding on
Yeah.
long enough. So I pat now sometimes they slip up because I would say if Jalen Carter, they said I gotta look at the tape a little bit more. But when they said that last sack against Matthew Stafford, when Jalen Carter got in and he sacked him, they said if he did not sack him, that would have been a game winning
It would have been
touchdown
a
for this
walking
time.
touchdown because my man's was wide open.
Yep. So they say that because I think somebody slipped because it was a slippery game. I think they
Mm-hmm.
said somebody slipped and it would
Mm-hmm.
allow that little slip allow a good enough time for I think it was a tight end that got open in the middle. And so that would have been a touchdown. And it probably would have ended. We probably would have been like if he would have dropped because they were dropping a lot of passes because too. Like
Yeah, they was too. And yo, put it like this, bro. Like I said this before I started out coughing and everything because I did it. I went online,
yeah,
and then next thing you know, I was coughing all over the place and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I said, yo, do not leave the game in Jake Elliott's hands, bro. Not one time. Yo, bro, first of all, he missed the field goal early on, and then he missed another field goal. That's two. So even if they would have had that walk-off touchdown, we still would have been up by 1 point. It would have been 30-29. You know what I
yep,
mean?
yep,
We would have walked away with the dub during that game, man. You know what I mean? Jake Elliott, he can't miss. He missing when he's 5 yards out. He's missing when he's 10 yards out, 15. You just can't put the ball in his hands, bro. And
yeah.
that's what I don't like, man. Hopefully next week, I know it's still gonna have the potential to be cold, of course, but hopefully next week, like I don't mind the cold, just no bad weather game, yo, no snowy
Yeah,
game, no,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
you know,
I would say that in the past, but I was trying to say that I'm gonna send it off with this. I was mainly saying what I take from this game is that we overall our team is doing their job, even with the coaches. Kellen Moore could be a little bit of iffy at some time, but overall he did a great job when it comes to this offense. Maybe need to dial in some more better passing schemes, even though we are a running team, but get a little more passing schemes going to get these receivers evolved so we can still mix it up and have the defense a little bit more off toll. Not saying to let Jalen Hurts pass for 200 or 300 yards, but get look because I think the passing scheme could get a little bit more better. But overall, he are doing good job with this identity of us, and we are winning games because of that. But what I take is I really take this season that defense. Like the
Yeah, yeah,
defense is the what is say the people tell my Saquon Barkley, yes, he is running that ball, but man, our defense is holding teams down. Like and yo, we could on all these stall drives, a lot of stall drives that we have because of sometimes like you because you have to pass. And I knew Jalen Hurts got hurt with his knees. So a lot of things changed after that, the way he gonna move and all that. So that kind of stalled a little bit of thing of how the defense wanted to play now because they be like, you know what, he's hurt, he's limping, he was out, then he
mhm,
came back from the tent. So I think that kind of allowed the defense of the Rams to play in a certain way. But because it when you have situations like that, we could have if the defense didn't balled out, that could have gave a chance for the Rams to take it over because Jalen Hurts got injured a little bit. The Rams could have just took over and start scoring. We couldn't keep up. We just kicking field goals. They could have scored
mhm.
again, kicking field goals. They could have scored again. And now we've got to play catch up because everything switched because our quarterback got injured a little bit and things start getting like a little rough. But for our defense to hold it down, to give it our offense a chance to get back on things, they done did that multiple games. So let's get it. I want to get a shout out. I always talk my thing on 2 off seasons straight. 2 off season. I always talking strongly on the defense. Strongly, I could finally say, man, listen, I'm proud of these boys, man. They look number one defense in the league, and they still doing it in the playoffs. Continue it, please. Continue it.
Yeah, man. The Philadelphia Eagles are going to the NFC Championship along with the Washington Commanders, man. The Philadelphia Eagles actually held strong in the building, and it was nasty weather yesterday. You know what I mean? A couple of injury updates. I don't know if y'all saw, but Nakobe Dean is on crutches. So, I don't know if a lot of y'all know, but he is out for the remainder of the year.
Yeah,
Jalen Hurts actually ended up getting injured, nothing too crazy though. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But he pretty much said like, we'll see how it is going into next week. You know what I mean? If y'all paid attention to that game after he got injured, he pretty much was he was a statue in the pocket. He really couldn't do anything. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Because you got to understand, like a lot of his game is predicated off his legs and him moving. You know what I mean? That's why he was able to bust that 40-yard run just like that. You know what I mean? That's that was the longest touchdown run he had this year. Period.
yeah, yeah,
Saying so. Another injury update. Quinyon Mitchell. He hurt his shoulder yesterday. He was ruled out for the rest of the game. It's nothing serious. He'll be back next week. You know what I'm saying? Nothing serious. So shout out to them boys right there, man. We listen, man. We gonna talk about. I'm gonna wake up in the morning. I'm gonna continue to talk about this game, and I'm gonna move it right to the NFC Championship round and stuff like that. The Baltimore Ravens lost, man. They lost to the Buffalo Bills. I can't tell you the score. I don't know the score off the back right now. I just know that they lost. And is it another epic fail for Lamar Jackson being as though that he might win his third MVP? Is it another epic fail for Lamar Jackson, man? And let me give my opinion. I I feel like it's a yeah and a no. Yeah, because bro, this was your season. You had one of the best running
yeah,
backs in the league in Derrick Henry, second to Saquon Barkley. This was one of your best performances this year, period. You know what I mean? As a quarterback, I'd never seen Lamar Jackson play how he played this year, period. You know what I
yeah,
mean? A lot of people said that he didn't deserve the MVP last year because his numbers wasn't that. But if it is a year that he definitely deserved the MVP, it is this year because he balled out, man. And, I feel like it is an epic fail because, bro, y'all supposed to run ramshack. Like, this was your year to prove everybody wrong. This was your year to prove everybody that, like, yo, I'm not the same Lamar Jackson as y'all used to seeing. Every time Lamar Jackson get in the playoffs, it's like Lamar Jackson could be superb and he could be all worldly in the regular season. When it come in the playoffs, that's where his reign stopped. And for some reason, he got to get that monkey off his back. I don't know what it is, bro. And I know he's tired of it. I know he's tired of it. He got to get that monkey off his back, man. To me, this was an epic fail, man. You cannot go in there and lay a stinker like that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Throughout the whole year, you barely turned over the ball, and then now when you face the Buffalo Bills, you got like two or three turnovers. Mark Andrews got like a turnover. He got a lot of drop passes. You know what I'm saying? Y'all went away from running the ball, and it was just sloppy, man. It was just sloppy. The Buffalo Bills don't have anybody over there like that for them to even be stopping the Ravens like that. They don't have no. I mean, if you want to say what they got, Josh Allen and James Cook, that's about it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Defensive side, they don't really have nobody like that besides Ed Oliver. So when you look at it in totality on paper, it seemed like the Ravens is going to run away with the game. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Shout out to the Buffalo Bills, man, for coming up with a game plan to actually stop Lamar Jackson. That's all it is. That's all it takes is a game plan. You know what I mean? Forget the names on the back of the jerseys and all of that. You feel what I'm saying? Forget it. Forget all the superstars and everything. No, all it takes is the right game plan to neutralize whatever the opponent is doing. That's it. That's it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, the Ravens actually lost, man. I had to text my boy and clown him. You know what I mean? I had to clown my boy. He just be talking, oh, X, Y, and Z better than Jalen Hurts. Oh, the Ravens this, the Ravens that. Man, I had text him. He was nowhere near to be found like the Ravens. He went in the
Uh,
closet.
let me guess, Cav.
Yeah, Cav. Yup. He went in the. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. What's the takeaways of that game?
Nah, I take away that I hear what you say about Lamar Jackson, but I'm a dollar and I'm gonna lay just a little bit off on his shoulders and his back is because even though he had, especially that crucial fumble, that was a crucial fumble, they 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 also didn't play it in a type of good weather themselves. It's still no excuse because both teams got to play in it. But I'm just saying a lot of that stuff was happening on a end too. But then also he still played well enough to give them a chance to come back and win it. Um, for a player that been doing his thing through the season. Like, I didn't necessarily watch every single Ravens game to say that this not have been people that have not seen in Mark Andrews,
Mm-hmm.
but to be a experienced and uh receiver of what he is,
Mm-hmm.
and to show up and not to come up in a moment that your team needs you to be in. I felt like that was the outcome of the game. You had a crucial drive, a drop in the pad, a fumble in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
I think he dropped a pass too.
Yeah, he dropped
Then,
2 or 3 of them joints.
yeah. Then on the give you another chance. Now a lot of people say they felt like likely would have should have came in and played that. You see that Mark Andrews is having a rough game in the most important time at the most important time.
Mm-hmm.
Some people felt like likely should have been in for that type of key moment for that type of play. Um, I felt, but a lot of people saying that likely through the season had his share of drop passes too.
Mm-hmm.
Um, which they probably be true. I can't debate it because I didn't see, like I said, watching the fans will watch more of their games to know more about it. But what I'm saying is, even if that's true, he wasn't doing bad on that particularly game. Meaning he might have, but this was a game that he was the issue in.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you see that okay, Likely is not having that issue, but Mark Andrew is. For now, you something's going on with you, bro. I don't know what your head at. I don't know what's going on with you. but we gonna have to sit you down for this type of play, and I'm gonna have to trust in this guy to deliver. But
Mm-hmm.
sometimes these coaches with these plays, they still be because of what you done did in the past. What you the type of experience and elite receiver that you they feel like they know you are because of what you done did in the past. I think a lot of these coaches still giving these give them the chance. Like example, we see how what with Justin Tucker.
Mm-hmm.
See from the beginning of the season all the way to he haven't having no hiccups yet, but he had
Mm-hmm.
multiple games of him this kick, and they lost some games because of that.
Mm-hmm.
Missing the field goal, back. You like a shell on himself. Why not sit him down, or why not change up a goal? Why? Because they live on, yeah, man, but he's not gonna do it again because this is Justin Tucker.
Yeah, man. You cannot go based off of what somebody done in the past. You got to go
Yeah, yeah,
what they
yeah,
looking like, what they looking like now, pretty much. And if they showing you that, yo, I dropped a couple passes this season, then more likely when it come down in crunch time, it's a chance he may drop it again. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So you
yeah,
gotta
yeah, yeah.
go based off that for real.
So to end it off, I would say I felt like yeah, Lamar Jackson he has his share of mistakes in that game, but
Mm-hmm.
at the same time he still played good enough to make them get them to come back on a drive and on a chance to he kept the score he kept the score close
Yeah,
enough,
yeah,
and they had the chance to take it.
yeah.
And this
He only lost by
this
2 points, right? Like
yeah,
25.
27 and 20, 27, 25. So he had a chance to tie it up and give them another chance to go on overtime so they could win it. But man, Mark Andrew, bro, that like you gotta hold on to that.
Mm-hmm.
That's a moment. You can't you have to be prepared for that. I'm pretty sure they dialed that play up for you. That's where they want him to go. It was a Mark Andrew round dollar play going towards the flat. Who else was going to be open in that type of day? It was a if you don't see Mark Andrews open, Lamar, try to run it in. And if you can't run it in, then hey man, we're gonna chase out you. Like try to do something. Like find a receiver in the back or whatever. But the two main things we looking for first, look for Mark Andrews in that flat.
Mm-hmm.
Be ready, Mark Andrew. He's going to roll out to the right, and he's going to look for you. And if he don't, then use your legs to run it in. But I feel like that play was dialed up for him. He knew it was dialed up for him. And bro, you supposed to be ready for that ball.
Mm-hmm.
You supposed that. Maybe they say it was wet, maybe or whatever. But man, listen, that was a crucial drop, and they could they could
It was.
have
It,
had it.
it definitely was a crucial drop, yo. So, like I said, man, I feel like it was an epic fail, man. At least Lamar Jackson should be in the AFC Championship right now, facing the Kansas
Yeah,
City Chiefs. You know what I mean? Like this, your historic season. You know what I mean? I think he got the most passing yards, the most passing touchdowns this year. You know what I mean? With minimum turnovers and stuff like that. Derrick Henry had 17 to 1800 rushing yards. Like all of that stuff just went down the drain. And now, now the Buffalo Bills versus the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC Championship, man. I really wanted to see Baltimore. It didn't unfold like that. You know what I'm saying? Another
yeah,
loss. The Houston Texans lost to the Kansas City Chiefs. And that game was pretty much it was no indication to tell me that the Texans was going to win that game. Obviously, it's been a lot of chatter, been a lot of stuff going on. Is the refs helping Patrick Mahomes out? It's just stuff like that. Honestly, I saw that game, bro, and it was a lot of favor towards Patrick Mahomes. But that's what's going to happen when you are that caliber of a quarterback, when you've been to multiple Super Bowls and stuff like that. Listen, every superstar got it, man. Tom Brady got that type of treatment. You know what I mean? When it came down with the refs, if you want to take it to basketball, look at LeBron James, look at Jordan, look at Kobe. They got certain calls and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So it happens, yo, and you got to play good enough not to leave the game in the refs' hands. Unfortunately, sometimes that the game could be decided because of a ref, and you be looking like, yo, that was not that call. That was not that penalty. But that that's what happened. It was a lot of play on the Texas team in the locker room after the game. The post game conference, they was talking about a couple of questionable calls that the refs had made and stuff like that. And it was blatant that it wasn't a lot of a sportsmanlike conduct on hitting the quarterback. It wasn't a lot of those that was blatant like how the refs made it seem, man. It's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
sad, somebody brought it to my attention too when I was watching one of these videos on YouTube, and they was pretty much saying that sports betting took all the fun, all the natural stuff out of these games because you know Patrick Mahomes, getting hit by not getting hit by the linebacker, but the referees call that for a 15-yard penalty. That can go with the whole gambling thing. It's a lot, bro. It's a lot. But
Mhm.
listen. I don't either way. I don't think that the Houston Texans, was even a strong enough all around team to beat the Kansas City Chiefs, man. I mean, come on, man. It's Patrick Mahomes, man. They was going to have their way regardless. Kansas City Chiefs, their defense showed up. And one thing about their defense, bro, they don't have not one person with a name on that defense. And it seems like that every year. They don't have nobody, bro. The only people for real is a Patrick Mahomes and a Travis Kelce. Everybody else be no names. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Or their names just be mediocre. You know what I mean? Their names be
Yeah.
mediocre. They don't really have nobody like that, though. I mean, Isaiah Pacheco, yeah, that's a name, but it ain't nothing crazy like a Saquon Barkley or a Derrick Henry for real. You know what I'm saying? Only two people is Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes. They don't have no names,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
their defense and their team step up year in and year out, and they kind of remind you of what the Patriots dynasty. The Patriots dynasty, only
Yeah.
person you knew for real that was solidified and that was certified was Tom Brady. Everybody else, they probably had a somewhat of a name, but not as much of
Gronk.
yeah, and Gronk and stuff like that. But that's about it, though. Like, this reminds me of a Patriots dynasty. This is a Patriots 2.0 dynasty right here. You know what I mean? So, like I said, the Texans didn't give me no indication that they was going to beat the Chiefs. We all knew the Chiefs was going to go in the AFC Championship. So for me, I don't have no real takeaways of the game. The only thing I can say is that sometimes the refs they do favor the Patrick Mahomes. We just gonna call it. We just gonna call it down the middle. We gonna call it spade a spade. You know what I mean? They pretty
Yeah,
much
yeah.
favor Patrick Mahomes. I ain't really got no real takeaway. If you do, you could talk about it, but I ain't really got no real takeaway.
Nah, nah, nah. I just seen that they just when it comes to when you like you necessarily just you talking about dealing with the Chiefs and the Texans, right?
Yeah,
And that game is like you just said, it's the same old dealing with the Chiefs. Like, a lot of people like you said, like the controversy dealing with Patrick Mahomes, that with the ref and all that. Um, I feel that, but I also feel that Texan old line horrible. Like it's
yeah.
horrible. Like, yo,
Mm,
what was it? 9 sacks? I think it was
bro,
9 sacks,
horrible, bro.
bro.
I don't know if it
Oh,
was 9 sacks, but I know that. Listen, we just
yo,
gonna say nine. Listen, if it wasn't 9 sacks, it felt like 9 sacks.
yeah. Listen, bad calls or not, you're not winning no game if you getting your quarterback 9 sacks. Like, that's just how I look at it. Like, CJ Stroud, like, listen, we I was hard on him. Why? Because we saw the dop, like, we saw how he fell and how he was looking. That
Hmm.
that what who they played? The Texans played before they went to play the Chiefs. Who
They
they
played
beat?
the
Chargers.
Chargers. Yeah.
Chargers. Seemed like he played pretty well in that game. So I'm like, all right, okay, he seemed like in the playoffs, he's gonna step up. And then this game, I couldn't even get a chance to see if he was gonna step up or not because my
Because
man tried to step up and got sacked. you know,
Mhm.
like They was all over that boy. Every time he dropped back, they right there in his face. It's
Mm,
like when he tried to move and all that, he couldn't. He didn't have no time at all. Toodles to the Chiefs, the do their thing to get in and put that pressure and get in there. But at the same time, like man, so at certain points, now also go with the coaching because I didn't see necessarily if he put in a tight end to help block.
mm,
Then he put in a running back to stay in block with an extra tight end to get like or to have to give that boy a time. It would have had to turn to a passing game until you need
yeah,
a running. You would have had to use your running back to help block, use your tight end to help block because that's how bad your old line was doing.
they
They
wasn't
were,
blocking. Period. No matter who they threw up there, bro. Like the running back, Joe Mixon couldn't get nothing at all. Like
yeah,
no matter who they had blocking, bro, nobody couldn't block.
block,
I don't
yeah,
know. I don't understand. I don't understand, bro. I don't
yo,
get.
yeah, that was a bad old line game to me.
Mm-hmm,
Like,
mm-hmm,
and I think that just what played a part. Like they couldn't come back, they couldn't keep up because on the crucial job that they need, CJ Stroud couldn't do nothing. Like he could have had receivers open, but how can you give it to him when you running scared for your life? Like
mm-hmm,
how can you give it to your receivers and see when they open when you got a hundred to two about the 200 and about to be close to 300 pounds uh uh linebacker or a lineman in your face and you're trying to avoid, like, bro,
mm-hmm.
you don't want to continue. You already got not like listen, when you get into your sixth sack, you don't want to get to the seventh. Like you don't want to get to the seventh. You done got sacked, these big men on you, then hitting you, knocking you around. This is your sixth time getting hit and getting tackled by these big guys. You ain't trying to make it to seven. Like you, like nah. Like he got sacked 9 times. So after the sixth time, you looking, you taking your eyes off the field. You're not sitting there trying
Mm-hmm.
to wait to see if a
Uh,
receiver is getting open.
you seeing ghosts now. You seeing people that ain't there because you getting sacked so much that you just used to people around you.
Nah,
So now
yeah,
you
yeah,
in a
yeah.
hurry, it's speeding you up real quick. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So now you already hesitating to run, already hesitating to move, and you're not keeping your eyes downfield
The
because you're
field,
not
yeah.
trying to get sacked 7 times.
Mm-hmm. And
Like,
it's cold out there. You don't want to get you getting sacked in the
yeah.
cold. Come on.
Yeah, so that was just to take to me the end of it all. My takeaway is, man, this is what you could see when your O line is not doing their job.
Mm-hmm.
And that game, that's what happened. The Chiefs played bully ball on that line, and they controlled the line of scrimmage, and that was the ball game of the game.
That was that. That was that. Listen, man, we had some more for y'all, man, but we gonna cut it short and we gonna continue the you know what? Tomorrow we gonna give y'all a free show tomorrow. You know what I mean? Normally we would put these on the Patreon. It's still gonna go up in the Patreon on the free tier, but we're gonna give y'all a free show on the YouTube and on Facebook and everything else, man. So tomorrow, man, the podcast is definitely tomorrow between 8:30, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. Y'all check it out, man. But please make sure that y'all like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Right there, the Patreon right there is Dolo Solo 103 TV. Let me pull this up right now so that way y'all can become a member. Make sure y'all become a member to the Patreon at Dolo Solo 103 TV, man. You know what I mean? Other than that, we will give y'all one of the free episodes tomorrow. Make sure y'all tune in. It's going to be live in action. You already know, man. This your boy, Rell. That's Young Jers over there, man. Thank y'all for tuning into the Unsportsmanlike Talk Show. And listen, man, I feel better, man. I feel better. By the grace of God, man, I feel better. You feel
Yes,
what I'm
sir.
saying?
Yeah.
You know, that the listen, man, the flu is no joke, man. I pretty much gave it to everybody in my household. Everybody in my household ended up getting it. And especially my son, man. He had to miss two or three basketball games. You know what I mean? He couldn't really do nothing. You feel what I'm saying? So listen, man, make sure y'all take care of yourselves. Make sure that y'all immune system is high and up to par. You feel what I'm saying? I know mine
Yeah.
wasn't that much. But I do want to say this though before I exit. One thing this actually helped me with is that it helped me stop smoking because I was on a train wreck smoking. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Smoking Black and Milds and stuff like that. But now, I actually don't crave it. I actually don't crave smoking no more. So,
That's
it
good.
kind of knocked out. Yeah, it kind of knocked out all of the feeling, all of that stuff. You know what I mean? All of the fucking mucus that was coming up and everything like that. It knocked it out. So, um, yeah, all of that. You already know. E Money, what's good, man? What's good, man? Eagles Commanders 45-17. You already know.
Word.
You missed the cool show, man. It was a cool show, not too crazy. But you already know, man. Listen, I will be on this thing on my other YouTube channel early in the morning, as I usually do. You know what I mean? Talking, you know what I mean? E Money, I see you early in the morning. You feel what I'm saying? We definitely gonna get it. But tomorrow night, like I said, tune into the podcast tomorrow night between 8:30, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. I see all my boys in the morning time. You already know, man. It's your
Word.
boy Rell. And this, you know what I mean. That's Young Jers. I was about to say, Hype Fan Eagle representing the Philadelphia. I was about to do it, but yeah, man. Thank y'all for tuning into the Sportsmanlike Talk Show. You already know, man. Gang, gang.
Word.